Hello again. So, now we're off to the kinema to, I don't remember exactly what it was. To listen to call perhaps the library people? Put the library card? Some kind of frequency radio zone, I don't know. Oh, right. Also, I have enough money to get myself...
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Yes, the amphibian sports visor.
Sporty and practical, officer. Good choice.
Hell yeah. Right.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Pick up the radio again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, I need you to connect me to Speed Freaks FM.
Come again, officer?
Speed Freaks FM, a radio station. It's for the case.
Okay, officer. One moment. I have the GMS on the line. I'll connect you now.
Yo!
The word shoots out of the man's mouth like a bullet. Yo, yo!
Yo, you got DJ Mesh here, my man. I got a few minutes before I gotta go back on air. What do you need?
I'm just calling to confirm. Did you debut a new track from DJ Flashio a few days ago?
An asshole is a mouth for shit. And I'm puking.
What?
An asshole is a mouth for shit. Parentheses, and I'm puking. Close parentheses.
He says more slowly. An asshole is a mouth for shit and I'm puking.
An asshole is a mouth for shit, and I'm puking.
Okay, but what is the song called?
Yeah, that is the song. An asshole is a mouth for shit, and I'm puking.
Is that legal to play?
It's illegal not to play, man. When you got that kind of music in you, the universe demands that you got to let it out. You know what I mean? Plus, Felicia and I got it in our contracts that we could play our own tracks. So really, it would be illegal not to.
Okay, let's move on. We talked to some kids who said they heard it in their heads. Do you know how that could be possible?
Come on, man. I just told you we're cleared to play shit like that. Listen, it's not our problem if kids decide to tune into River Shore's hottest station.
It's not that they played it on the radio. They heard it in their heads. Do you know how that's possible?
I don't understand. Are you asking if we can, play our station into people's brains?
Yeah, like that. Maybe it was part of your civic duty. You were just testing it out for the government.
We ain't testing anything out for the man, unless it's how many bricks you need to break all his windows. That wasn't a threat, by the way. Just a figure of speech. I'm a spoken word guy. Now, is there anything else you needed?
No, that was it. Thank you for your time.
Nah, man. Thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. Later, cop man.
The party has terminated the call. Is there anything else I can do for you, officer?
Connect me to Jamrock Public Library. Or maybe... I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An identified middle-aged man. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench.
The man was about 173 centimeters tall, stout, with dark hair and a mustache. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he slipped. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Mejan.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Alice, connect me to Jamrock Public Library.
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We should try again during business hours.
Okay.
Anything else, Detective?
Press the button labeled Save, then turn on Speed Freaks FM.
It requires no adjustment. The radio is already set to Speed Freaks FM.
Spoke to the wildest cop and rapper show. Didn't even get his name. But whoever that mystery cop was, we salute him.
Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right?
He's still avoiding your gaze, and his ears glow red.
That's DJ Mesh. That was Speed Freaks FM.
The lieutenant is resolutely silent,
Oh.
staring at the console.
Oh, Kim, you like them. Oh man, you should have told me you liked them. I could have asked for a shout out.
I don't listen to them.
The lieutenant says sharply. It's okay to like what you like, Kim.
I don't like it. I don't know how that channel got marked.
Right, you don't want to get into this? No problem.
Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
He pats the motor carriage.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone?
Alice, please connect me to the 41st again.
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
I'm happy to report that I have found my badge, Jules.
10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with beer?
This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over.
Understood.
10-4. Anything else, sir? Over.
And that's all for now.
Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Alright.
Snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. The white colors nearly meld together.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Kanema looks sleek and dynamic. The cabin is tilted frontward to give it a more aggressive, hunched look. Someone has waxed it recently.
That machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Point to the vehicle. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look?
What's it packing there? Point to the engine.
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
Mama's serving some serious macaroni.
You lost me there.
He's looking at you, perplexed. 130 kilowatts is a lot of power, Kim.
The Kinema is fast. Feels right at home on the raised motor track. Hard to find something that could overtake it.
A fine machine. Run your hand over the smooth metal surface.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Slam it down. It's a bit girly right now. Fit it with some proper off-road components.
Okay, enough about the details.
Anything else?
Okay, let's move. No, I'm not gonna talk to Kim on beating down his kinema after I just broke down mine. No shit.
Okay, about that call. Let's start from the top. There's no doubt the twins heard Speed Freaks FM. I still don't know how without a radio, but they did.
Spooky shit. But what does it mean?
I don't know what it means.
Guess we're stuck then.
The lieutenant turns his attention away from the coast. Back to you.
Not necessarily. We've learned something. No idea what. Something, at least. Did we ask where the kids were when they heard the voice?
I didn't, sorry.
No need to apologize. I was just going to say it'd be a good idea to ask them. And, Detective, thanks for this. It's been interesting.
Oh, Kim. Kim.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Real quick, boys. Where were you when you heard the voices?
There.
The boy points toward one of the ruined monoliths nearby.
We were there.
The other child nods. The fall of the building looms overhead. And so I return to thee, Feld.
Uh-huh.
One says, throwing a rock into the sand.
Full circle. Back to Feld, then. When you're ready.
The boy turns the rock over in his hands. He looks to you, then his brother, then back to you.
Bye, kids. Take care. To the Feld. It's right over here, right?
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D.
Okay, let's save our game.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld, you know a
Yes.
lot about radio. Enough to know you have no idea how or why those boys heard Speed Freaks FM in their heads. Knowledge like that isn't just obscure, it's unknowable. Dangerous theoretical facts like that are probably protected under the coalition government's Articles of Dominion, Title 14, Article 7C. While an expert might be able to suss it out on their own, a layman like you has no hope. You don't know how it happened, but the stores of your knowledge are vast, and there is something crucial in them.
What's that?
You know where Ruby isn't. She isn't in the fishing village. She's not with her bullet under the floorboards in the shack. So where could she be? The alcoholics never mentioned seeing Ruby either. Idiot Doom Spiral gave an exhaustive account of recent events, but never mentioned seeing Ruby. You've searched the whole coast for Morel's traps, just as you didn't find the Insulindian Phasmid. You did not find her. You've even entered the church, met Tiago and Sorna. Some criminals seek sanctuary from sacred buildings, though the sanctuary laws were abolished decades ago. But Ruby wasn't such a one. And you do know one thing about radios, ULAN. Ruby dabbles in advanced radio theories. ULAN, the Speed Freaks mystery. It might just be related.
Does that mean she's here?
If she's here on the coast, she'll be here. And besides, something weird happened to the twins around here. It'd be nice to know what caused that. Another fact for your collection. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you, in her breath, flowing through it.
Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
Say, I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay. Why?
We've looked everywhere else.
Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it? Enter through the roof?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Ugh. What is this?
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the felled building?
I don't think so. Come closer and look in.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there?
At first, you can't make anything out in the darkness at all.
Okay, what else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
And?
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Could we get into the Feld building through this pipe?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
The lieutenant pushes aside the reeds and looks around.
The lieutenant's face lights up. He doesn't usually notice these little things.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
Okay, physical instrument. I have -1 to that. What gives me -1? Scented scarf. Nothing to give me physical instrument. Only this. Ooh, what a cool scarf. Okay. Autosave.
Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand.
Try to pull the door apart.
The metal doors are heavy and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
Go in. Ooh. You should take out your flashlight. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe? Brought down and forgotten so long ago. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Okay, maybe let's investigate here first. Old file folders in the cart. Documents silvery with mold. A series of thick, dusty panes of glass. Intersolari suit jacket. Cool. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Oh. +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics. Stale fabric smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed. Ancient flyers and brochures. These pots and plates are full of dust and spiderwebs. The same slit window you saw from the outside.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Brush the dust off the portrait.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
It's that Mazov guy. This must have been the hiding place of some naive leftists.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
What's with all these secret weapons caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
A long time ago? How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing.
He looks around.
I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Could someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
He looks at the dust. There's something in the air, an unnatural buzzing. The tunnel collapsed. You'll have to find another way around. It's getting louder, the buzzing sound. Okay, maybe let's... Oh! Footsteps. That's useful. What about this? Postcard. The glass is covered with grime and dust. You can barely see out. Stones fall. It's a long way down. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. The gusts of wind, the height feels dizzying. Guess we got a postcard. Find that buzzing sound. and save our game.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Hold on, you really don't feel anything?
No, but you are the sensitive one.
A concrete pipe, buried in sand and dust. It feels strange.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange
Ruby.
pain like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
Says the shadowy figure by the machine.
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you. Not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
Cover your ears.
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
What's happening to me?
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
Blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations. It's the Ulan frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
You should probably check on Kim. That's what good partners do.
Look back to Kim. Look back at Kim.
Right behind you, officer.
Eyes closed, the lieutenant is doubled over. He's still alive and breathing.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
He gestures towards something with great effort.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
Please, could you just turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
mattress. Dentist.
The lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden sympathy.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Alright. Destroy the machine? Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
You're right. Classy was the first to share her suspicions.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them up.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Honestly, I don't know how I do it. I just stumbled in here. Can you please explain this shit to me?
What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me.
Do you have an alibi for when Lely was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Hold on, no one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Look, there's a secret way from the first floor of the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
She frowns, studying your face.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
The pain stops him from finishing the sentence.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You're running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Yeah, I made him talk.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
The lieutenant is unable to articulate his question.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
She turns the knob down just a millimeter.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
She responds, holding your gaze.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Okay, shit. Let's try destroying the machine.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh no! No! What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. Fuck. Convince her to put the gun down?
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Why am I standing here like an idiot?
Because you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now.
But she doesn't deserve to die like this.
A smirk crosses her face as she watches you stand there, mute. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Fuck. Okay. What do we do now?
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent, there.
Well, at least we got a gun. Fuck. Shit. Well, I didn't expect that. Dark water trails into the distance. There's no way out. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas. Dramamine.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately.
Barely red, though.
It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out.
Look inside.
You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Okay, let's carry her over there.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them.
Shine your flashlight on the books and magazines.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Sift through the magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
A notebook?
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Okay.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. This was important to her, when it was still hers.
Unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
What did she write the day Lely died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
Shit.
You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
What's the most... how far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
What kind of logistics are there?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
Yeah. What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed. Too bad we didn't really get to hear her side of the story.
Yeah.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
Okay, what do you mean, framed?
By the Hardy Boys, by Classier, by us.
And who do you think killed the merc?
Could have been Titus. Then again...
But no one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a Hardy Boy we've yet to meet, who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him.
I get a feeling that maybe Clausia is the one with an accomplice.
One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Yeah. Oh jeez, that was a lot. That was a lot. We found Ruby. But at what cost? Jeez. Alright, that's end for today. See you later.